I'm Colin Espie, Professor of Sleep Medicine here at the Kavli Institute at the University of Oxford. I first became interested in sleep out of clinical curiosity. I'm a clinical psychologist, and when I qualified back in 1980, I was asked to see some people with sleep problems, and I didn't know much about them, and found the whole journey of people not sleeping well and the relationship between poor sleep and mental health. It took me in a career-long quest to understand what insomnia is. And over those years, I've worked in the NHS, I've worked in academia in Scotland, and I've been working here in Oxford for the past 10 or 12 years, still in the same quest to understand better how sleep relates to the regulation of human emotion. One of the main things I've been working on over the years is how to find ways to treat insomnia effectively. And it turns out the most effective treatment is something called CBT, which is cognitive behavioural therapy for short. Now, traditionally, the way in which you get CBT is by attending a clinician or a therapist, which means it's not very scalable. It's hard to get it out to the millions of people who might benefit. And two things that I've been working on that maybe help reduce that a gap in provision have been to create self-help tools. For example, this self-help book on overcoming insomnia helps people to implement cognitive behavioural therapy. And the other thing is the development of an app called Sleepio, which is an evidence-based treatment. We've conducted 12 clinical trials on this program, and it's now got a guideline from NICE in the UK recommending this as a treatment of choice rather than medication. It's maybe just worth mentioning what CBT is. CBT is an approach which deals with cognitive aspects of our difficulty sleeping, that is the racing mind. Most people will be familiar with struggling to get to sleep because our mind's too active. So CBT addresses that by helping you to let go of your thoughts and stop you trying to get to sleep. Because sleep is not something you can do deliberately, it's something that happens to you. And the other part is the behavioural part in the CBT, the B in CBT if you like, which is about establishing the best sleep pattern that's suitable to your personal needs. People often ask me what's my top tip for insomnia. So let me share just one piece of advice with you, and that is never, ever try to sleep. Because if you try to sleep, you will certainly remain awake. Many, many years ago, as a hobby, I used to be a scuba diver. And I realised when I was scuba diving at first and saw in many people I trained in diving over the years that for the first time in life you were thinking about how can I breathe? How can I breathe? Because I've got this aqua lung, I don't know how to breathe. The secret is you cannot breathe deliberately, and if you do, then you tend to hyperventilate. You become very focused on your own physiology and it disrupts your physiology and it becomes a vicious cycle. So my top tip to overcome insomnia is never to try to sleep. You could actually try and stay awake, because trying to stay awake when you're sleepy is more likely to result in you falling asleep. And then you discover that sleep happens to us. It's not something you can just switch on. I think one of the most exciting things about the whole area of sleep research that I'm involved in is understanding the purpose of sleep, why we sleep, and helping people who, when they get back to good sleep patterns, to see the improvements in their mental health, their cognitive health, their ability to function and enjoy their lives. Because sleep is really nature's medicine. The problem with sleep is not just that you can't sleep, it's that you can't function during the day when you're not sleeping well. So I think our research these days is looking at, for example, the relationship between sleep and depression, the relationship between sleep and cardiometabolic health, the relationship between sleep and quality of life. And I hope that insomnia treatments in time will not just be treatments to reduce insomnia symptoms, but also treatments that will be antidepressant. One of the great things about the Kavli Institute is that rich interdisciplinary opportunity to work, to use the talents of people from different disciplines to add insights to the problems we're trying to solve. And of course, something like sleep is very, very suited to that, because sleep is not so much a silo of interest in health, it's actually a lateral. Whatever stage you are at in life, whatever health conditions you have, sleep plays an important part, and difficulty sleeping often compromise our ability to recover from illness. So we do need these rich interdisciplinary environments like the Kavli, where people can meet together, where we can develop hypotheses, find ways of testing them, and bring the talents that everyone has together to try and solve one of the greatest mysteries, I think, in humankind, which is how do we sleep?